Okay. All right. We're live. Welcome to the Friday live stream, the eCommerceaholic Show. My name's TJ Gamble, and thanks for watching. Today, we're actually going to be talking with some of the team from Shipper HQ about Pre-Imagine, which is the community-sponsored, community-organized party that is the unofficial official kickoff for Magento Imagine every year, and we're having it in just a couple of days. And today I'm going to be drinking a little more of my John Emerald single malt whiskey here, and I am joined from Shipper HQ. We're supposed to have Karen. I don't know if she's going to make it. She was speeding across the desert last time I heard, but she mandated that Melanie join and in her stead, I guess, right? She gets all the credit, you do all the work. Is that how that works?
That's generally how it works around here. You nailed it.
So it looks like you scrounged and found a beer there yourself. So what are you drinking?
We always have something in the office, thankfully. But yeah, I'm drinking a Huff beer. I have to tell you, I'm not actually a huge beer girl. So I have a beer every now and then, but this works perfect. And especially with getting ready for Imagine, I could definitely use one of these or two.
Well, I'm sorry to be a bad influence.
No, I like it. I can't let you drink alone. What kind of person would I be?
I know. This is my favorite part, right? They just kind of that. It's actually gotten less and less audible the more I open this bottle. So that's something of note. But
I like that you have the proper ice cube. That's good.
Yeah, you got the ice ball. You can't have it melt.
No.
I'm not manly enough to drink it just at room temperature, so I keep these in the freezer and then I put them over the ice ball, and usually I can get through it before it starts watering down.
Good plan.
So I know we don't have a lot of time. I'm flying out first thing in the morning to Imagine, and then you're doing all the work on Pre-Imagine. So I will get right into it. Quentin here in the chat is saying that you're a lot cooler than Karen anyway. So this is an upgrade, apparently.
That's so nice of Quentin to say. He may stretch the truth a little bit, but thanks, Quentin.
So are you still in Texas, I assume, or have you headed over to Austin or to
most
Vegas?
of our team. So Karen's the only one from our team who's headed to Vegas, and our team will head over tomorrow as well in the morning and the afternoon. Will be when our team will be there. So we're excited.
Yeah, Karen told me, she's like, yeah, I'll still be in Texas, no problem. And then she texted me yesterday, or hits me up on Twitter yesterday, and she's like, are we doing this live stream or what? And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's tomorrow. And then she's like, yeah, I'm already headed over to Vegas. So I just changed my mind, decided I'll just go on, forget waiting till Friday night or Saturday. So I guess she just on a whim decided she'd head on over and have some fun.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, she's very popular. So we always think, some extra time for her to say hello to everybody is good. And then also, we were worried that they might ground some of those planes depending upon how these inspections and whatnot went. So we wanted to make sure we had at least one team member on the ground already.
I got you. How far of a drive is it if you have to plan B real quick?
I think the guy said 18 hours.
Yeah. I just won't be going if I can't fly. So
yeah,
I haven't really even thought about. I didn't put that much thought into it. So now you got me worried. Thanks. I appreciate that.
No, I don't want to panic anybody. I think we would have known by now if something more were going to happen. So we're all good.
Just one more thing to worry about now.
Add it to the list.
It's all your fault. So Pre-Imagine, and Karen posted a wonderful blog post the other day, kind of outlining the history of it. How long have you been involved in the event?
So this is actually my first year for Pre-Imagine and Imagine. So I joined the company in October. So, and I think very nearly after that started planning Pre-Imagine and Imagine. So I'm really looking forward to it. So Karen and Jane and the rest of the team have really, given me all the details and given me an idea what the event's all about. And we've been planning since. So we're excited.
So this is the first one. So if you screw it up, you don't even know. You're like, that was good. That was good, right? Even if it's bad, you're like, that's good.
Yeah, it's going to be good in my book either way. Yeah. Hopefully, with the crowd and relaxed atmosphere, hopefully not too much can go wrong.
They've always been great. I mean, it's packed. Usually, I know we've got a different venue. We'll talk about that in a second. Normally they have it there on the terraces. And last year, man, you could barely walk out there. They had so many people. It was just bumper to bumper. And that's still fun. That's a different environment for me. There's not that many people in my town, much less on a terrace all together. Make sure everybody bathed and that kind of thing. But
exactly.
So what's the venue this year?
Sure. So we, as it was crowded last year, we tried to go to a bigger venue this year so that we were better prepared for that. Because, we really want to make sure everybody can walk around and meet and greet as necessarily and have that room to, jump from group to group. This year we're at the Excess nightclub, but really we're outside the Excess nightclub. We really felt it was important that most Imagines have been outside, and everybody's going to be in a conference for the next 3 days, and we wanted to make sure everybody could be outside and enjoy that Las Vegas weather, because I know a lot of those on the East Coast and everywhere else have had a very, very tough winter. So we're excited. So it's really going to be on the outside pool patio right outside the Excess. So we're excited.
So do you know where that's located in the Wynn? Of course, this is your first Imagine, It
is my first Imagine, so I'm not exactly sure where Excess is, but we are going to have some people helping direct everyone to kind of where Excess is. And there is a map on our website and the Eventbrite site. So if you all check that out, you can kind of get an idea of where the Excess is located. And like I said, we'll have some ushers around some of the main areas and hallways to help people find it.
Okay. So, and Karen just hit me up on Twitter here and said she went to a Starbucks, no Wi-Fi, and then they're in some shady casino and the Wi-Fi is not good enough. So it looks like it's just going, she's just abandoned you. She has put you on here and she has abandoned you.
She absolutely has. But I think we're doing all right?
Yeah, it's going fantastically, right? Yeah. So if I know you guys sold out. I mean, 500 plus registrations for this. Is that an accurate number?
That is still an accurate number. It should be very, very well attended. We're really excited about it, and as that we have so many people coming in, it is going to be. We're going to keep registration, as minimal as possible to make sure that everybody is able to get into the Excess, with minimal problems or IDs or whatnot. So just make sure that you're all wearing your Magento lanyards to get in, and you'll get a registration bracelet, and then you can head on into the fun.
So you have to go register for Imagine and get your lanyard and everything before you head over to pre-Imagine?
Yes, that would be best for us.
What time does Magento's? Hey, look.
Hey.
I've got Karen on the line. I'm see if we can patch her in. I don't know if you can hear her.
Man, it's not that big a deal, right? I mean, this is not like I'm not Jimmy Kimmel or something, right? Like, it's not that big a deal. I appreciate the effort, though.
Hey, TJ.
Hey,
hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm in some really dodgy town. I don't know where I am. We went in a casino, and they literally have no Wi-Fi in the whole casino. So now we're literally walking across the road, jaywalking to a McDonald's to try and get on the Wi-Fi. So
it's not a... Go ahead.
I might join you in a few minutes, but I didn't want to let you down, and I realize I have. But I'm going to find Wi-Fi if it kills me.
It's not a huge deal. I know, you're very busy and there's a lot going on right before Imagine. We've just been sitting here chatting with Melanie. She's been doing a fantastic job informing us on what's going on.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I don't actually do any work, and Melanie's the one that does it all pre-Imagine. So she's actually the right person to be talking to right now.
I figured, that's kind of how it works at our office as well, is I get all the credit for our meetups and things we organize, but Gary does all the work. So that's a common scenario in the Magento ecosystem.
Absolutely. Well, look, let me jump off, and I'll try and jump on in a second. We have just got Wi-Fi, so let me jump off this call, and I'm going to try and join you.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
All right. So back to getting into this thing, and Quentin, you're more than welcome to stay on here. As far as getting in, do you know what time registration opens and closes on Sunday for the event?
Sure. Registration starts at 5 p.m. on events. All right, so come on in. The event's from 5 to 7. We will have people at the registration for the duration of the event. So there's no really timetable, but I would suggest you get there early. It actually goes by very quickly from what I understand, those 2 hours. So come on by and join us. Everybody.
Now, what about Magento's registration? Because you have to go get your lanyard. If you show up at 6, are they going to be shut down? Do you need to make sure you arrive early enough to get over there and get through that process?
A very good question, TJ. I don't know. We'll have to.
It's noon to 6.
Noon to 6. Okay.
Okay. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think the XS is on the other side or it's actually, down the hall back toward the casino. So honestly, if you get all the way over to, if you don't get to Magento's registration by 6 and you're 6:10, 6:15, you're going to have a hard time getting through that and making it back to Pre-Imagine by the time anybody's still there anyway. So it shouldn't be a huge concern.
Yeah, and it's not a concern, too, if you come to Pre-Imagine without your lanyard. All that we're going to do is we'll probably more formally register you and just take a look at the list and check your name just to make sure that we have everybody in the party who's supposed to be there. So
okay, so did we just slip a little loophole in there right now? Let me reel this back now, because there's a lot of people that wanted tickets and they registered too late, and maybe they weren't sure they'd be there, and then they show up and it's like, so if you have a lanyard, are they going to check you off the list and make sure that you have registered for?
Yes and no. So I have to be honest. We do have a threshold that we have to stop at for Pre-Imagine, and we of course want to include as many as we can. And it was important that everybody pre-registered. Helps us with our numbers. Obviously, we have a budget from all our community members who've contributed and sponsored, which we want to thank. And so I'm going to ask that if you still need tickets, please contact us directly so that we can work with you and see where our numbers are. Oops.
Or hope a bunch of people leave and you just get lucky and can sneak in. Is that?
Well, we'll have to see on the day how it works and where our numbers. I'm hopeful that we won't have any of these problems. So,
understand. I don't know if it's been a huge problem in the past. I don't really know. I don't know how much Vegas actually pays attention to fire codes and things like that.
Right. Well, as far as fire codes, I think we're okay. But of course, we have a budget. That we have to stick by, and I think that's more kind of the concern there. But we also want to also make sure that the community is included and feels included and can come. Oh, there's Karen.
Oh, there she is. Can you hear us?
There she is.
Can you hear us, Karen?
She can hear us.
I don't think she can hear us. We're just going to stare at her pixelated face. Hello.
See? Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Barely. Yeah, your Wi-Fi is pretty bad. You were right. It's bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's bad. It's bad. Let's try again.
We can hear you. Just your video is a little.
Yeah, you might just go to audio, turn the video off. You might have enough signal.
Oh, she's stuck.
Well, it's okay. This is a casual live stream anyway. We're okay with, we could just have the picture of her. I don't know if I can make it like the big picture and we could just talk over it.
There you go. That works.
But yeah, so like I said, we've got about 15 more minutes here. I know, you've got a lot to do. Is there anything like after Pre-Imagine? Are you working the booth? Like what is your role there at Imagine once you're done with making sure this event goes off without a hitch?
Sure. Yeah, I'll be around. I'm looking to meet with some companies there. I particularly myself will not be on the booth, but you will see me definitely in the keynotes and general sessions and in some meetings for those of you who may be meeting with Shipper HQ. And if you still want to meet with Shipper HQ, let us know. We can arrange that. But we'll have quite a big team at Imagine. So we're really excited. We'll have, our sales solution guys on the booth. I think we'll have at least 3 or 4 there. Karen and Quentin are hoping to be on the booth here and there when they can. Generally, possibly somewhere. And we also, have our tech leads in there too. So we really have a big team coming to Imagine. We're really excited about it. Excited to connect to everybody else. And for me, especially being my first Imagine, I'm really intrigued to learn more about this community and all this big word I keep hearing, community, and it sounds like a great place to be. So I'm excited about it.
So is there anything in particular you're looking forward to that maybe you've heard about outside of Pre-Imagine, of course?
Yeah. I think that's it. I think it's just understanding what this community is about and really how it works as a community, because I've just heard so much about it and, see it on social media and everybody posting and how excited everyone is to see each other again. I haven't experienced something like that in my previous professional career where there's kind of this just air and atmosphere about, professionally and personally kind of being friends and helping one another out. And I think it's great. So I'm really just excited to make some new connections and new friends and go from there.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the things that sets Magento apart is the community, and it's hard to explain to folks until you've seen it, right? Come there, experience it, how the people you meet become friends, and events like Pre-Imagine that are community sponsored, community organized, and community funded, or organized, sponsored, funded. I'm saying one twice there in different ways, but it's community driven events is one of the things that you just don't seem to see. The number of meetups and Meet Magentos and Mage Titans and all of the other conferences that surround the Magento ecosystem is just, and then when you go to something like Imagine, which is the official Magento conference, you still got Pre-Imagine and the Big Damn Run and the hackathons and all of the things that are going on that the community is actively promoting and contributing to. And I've never seen anything else like it. I can't say that I'm experienced enough in other communities to say it doesn't exist, right. But I would be interested to see where else it exists, at least on this scale.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. I have not either. So I'm really intrigued by all of that, along with just the keynotes and whatnot. So, yeah, I think it'll be great.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Jamie Foxx as well. I was surprised. I actually had that conversation with somebody a few weeks ago, like right before Jamie Foxx was announced. I saw the keynotes and I'm like, looks like some interesting talks, but it's a little lackluster compared to the names, Magic Johnson and Serena. And I didn't realize that they just hadn't announced the big celebrity yet. And I don't know much about Jamie Foxx from a business perspective, outside of his movie career, but I'm looking forward to that. I have really high expectations. My first celebrity keynote at Imagine was a couple of years ago when they had Magic Johnson, which was just incredible. I mean, that guy is incredible. He grabbed the microphone. He walked off the stage. He's in the crowd taking selfies, talking, interacting with the crowd, walking up and down the aisles. And then, a bit of disappointment last year with Williams and, the way that interview was conducted and the, obviously kind of pre-planned question and answer. It was just a little boring. And then this year, I'm hoping kind of Jamie Foxx brings that Magic Johnson level back.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing from him too, and I'm with you. I don't have any idea on what he is like on a business perspective. It'll be interesting. You know, I can't kind of figure out what his kind of deal is, and the air about him seems sometimes maybe a little off-putting to me a little bit. So I'm really interested to see what he has to say. I'm sure it'll be great.
I'm gonna be honest. The effort that Karen is putting into being on this live stream is much more entertaining than if she had just showed up with good Wi-Fi. This is much better. This is a much better way to go. And I should put every guest through the ringer like this. Like everybody should have to go through those kind of hurdles to be on here. I'm afraid no one would ever show up.
She did just set the precedent, I think. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Tries to do Wi-Fi, speakers, FaceTime. The Wi-Fi is out again, but
she's tried 6 different ways. Don't worry, Karen. You can just buy me a drink at Parasol Up after hours. It'll all be square. It's not a big deal. Thank you for the effort. If you want to make this even funnier, keep trying even harder to get on this for the next 8 or 9 minutes. But I do appreciate it. Jason says in the chat here that she is committed and that she's been trying to live stream from Area 51, apparently.
It's so true. No,
just bounce it off a spaceship.
It's so true. But yeah, I mean, it will definitely be interesting to see. You know, I mean, Jamie Foxx has been in, you know, movies and obviously, you know, the music business. And I wasn't aware they had a, you know, e-commerce, you know, apparel store. So it'll be interesting.
Does he have an e-commerce apparel store?
That's
another attempt.
I got off of the Imagine website. Yeah, he does. It shows on there. I don't know. It's called Prestige something. I don't have it off the top of my head, but
Prestige Worldwide.
Something.
Wasn't that the name in Step Brothers? Their business they started was Prestige Worldwide, something like that.
That movie's hilarious. Hi, Karen.
Hey, I can't even up on any form of video. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're in somewhere called Mesquite, or everyone's gonna laugh at the way I pronounce that. It's I can't say it too loud. It's some gossip over place.
Did she say Mesquite? Are you in Texas?
Like barbecue, Mesquite barbecue?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Mesquite, Texas, but are you driving to Vegas?
No, I'm on the edge of Nevada. We're just about to exit the state. We're at that place where all those casinos are, you know, the ones on the edge of town. It's $3 to play craps here.
Oh, Reno? Like, is that where you're at?
No. It's called Mesquite.
Oh, okay.
Trust me.
Okay. We believe you. You're there. We're not. We believe you.
We believe you.
But so we went to the McDonald's across the street, and they do have Wi-Fi, and I tried to patch in from there, but it's just not strong enough. So we're kind of a bit out of town. So I'm sorry, I didn't realize that it would be like this. I thought the world had moved on a little bit.
It's not been a problem. Like I said, you just owe me a drink when we get to the Parasol Up there, and all will be forgiven. It has been much more entertaining to watch you put in the effort to try to get on the live stream than if you would have just showed up.
This is true. I mean, the amount of stress, like, because I was telling that I've got a Spanish lab with me, Stan_FM, is that right? Yeah, something like that on Twitter, and he's come over from Bratislava, and I was like, can you please speed up? And then all these warnings kept coming up on the waves, telling us there were police cars in front of us, so he keeps slamming on his brakes and then speeding up, and it was funny. But anyway, I'm here, so what's going on? What's the gossip?
We were just talking about Pre-Imagine. We had moved on. I mean, this is Melanie's first Imagine. Is this your first Magento event in general?
Well, large Magento. I went up to a Magento meetup in Austin recently, so that was my first.
How was that?
Yeah,
I was at that meetup, so I maybe we had met there. It was a big meetup, so there were a lot of people. Yeah, meetups don't count. I mean, right. We sponsor like 6 meetups across the Southeast. I mean, those are great. I love those, but that's not what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yes.
a Meet Magento, Mage Titans, something like that. So this is going to be fun for you. This is going to be entertaining. Make sure. So I guess the thing is if this is your first time at Imagine, your first time at Pre-Imagine, Karen, what tips do we have for first timers?
Well, I did it on the blog. If you go to superhq.com, it's on there now. So the big tip I have is sleep a lot before, and you haven't got a lot of time to do that. I think Sunday evening, don't go too crazy because they have an opening party on Monday. It's kind of strange. So we have an opening party Monday night, and then Tuesday night is the legendary party. And if you've got a hangover on Monday morning, you're not going to make it through to Wednesday. So I'd say, from experience, stagger that one. Good shoes. I think try to enjoy yourself because, especially my team, because I am going to enjoy myself and they're all working, then I'm like, you've got to work a little bit, but you've got to enjoy it as well. And that is actually, in all seriousness, a struggle sometimes, especially with people like Melanie who's doing a lot of the logistical stuff and trying to make sure everything's in the right place. But just, it's like getting married, I said to her. When you get married, it's kind of stressful, but you got to make sure you enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Marriage the same as getting married.
I guess I've never heard it put quite that way. But yeah, the Shipper HQ has a blog for first timers. Of course, Karen is assuming that the viewers of this live stream can read. I don't know. I don't judge. I don't make assumptions. I don't know. Maybe you can. If you can, head over to Shipper HQ, check out that blog post. It's definitely important to wear shoes where you can walk and walk and walk and walk, because even if you're staying in the wind and the event is in the wind, it is 7 miles from the elevator of the rooms to where this conference actually takes place. Don't underestimate the size of a Las Vegas casino.
It's not 7 miles from the elevators to the exhibition hall. Don't scare everybody.
It's a long way. Yeah, and don't, you can't see everything. Don't overdo it, right? Pick and choose your talks. Try to have a little space in between them. I spend most of my time in the exhibit hall nowadays. I get to see, just a few select talks, but just make sure you have time and don't overdo it. I mean, Las Vegas is a town where it's very easy to not sleep for 3 days, right?
Yeah, but I think that the blowout night, Tuesday night, I mean, just go crazy then. That's what I reckon. But no, I didn't say that officially. Magento will go mad if they even say that. Don't go mad Tuesday. Don't stay up all night like me and Quentin did last year. That's a really bad idea. You don't want to miss the keynote sessions. They're really good. So don't do that. But one of the big things as well, I don't know if you read my diversity blog the other day. I'm getting into this whole BT stuff. Did you read it, TJ? Did you read my blog?
I'm not sure. Which blog are you talking about? Let's see here.
I wrote a blog about diversity last week.
I have not seen that one. I was actually off Twitter for a couple of days last week, so I need to read that one. I need to catch up.
You missed the main story there, mate. But one of the things I was covering was, I was trying to put a bit of a different slant on it. And obviously being a female in tech, I get exposed to some of this stuff that's going on around that space. And I was basically in this blog just to summarize, like, what you should have read, CJ. I basically, like, my end conclusion was that when we go to Imagine, one of the things I think people should do is just try and go outside of their own normal circles, as hard as that is sometimes, and go and meet people that, maybe you wouldn't necessarily think you would get on with, or you wouldn't necessarily approach normally, right? And just be diverse, right? Don't worry about that kind of, everyone forms first impressions of people, right? And all I was really pointing out was, can we just kind of get over some of that and just treat people for people and join together a bit around that? Because I think especially with people like Stan that say, English is not his first language. There's a lot of people there like that. There's a lot of people there that are really shy, right? So there's a lot of different types of people, and I think the more that we can be inclusive and embrace these different types, it's not about women, right? It's not about colour, it's not about gender or anything like that. I think it's just about, in my mind, just being that open and inclusive community, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I just posted a link to the blog post in the chat for this video. So if anybody wants to read that, it's over on Karen's Medium, medium.com @ WSA Karen, KAREN. It's, you know, as of this airing, as of today, it's the second blog post down, and I'll definitely read through that. And I don't, as far as like first time at Imagine, it is important that we open up to first timers or different viewpoints. I mean, that's one of the great things about this community is there are so many different viewpoints, so many different people with different backgrounds and different ethnicities. And so, it's important to open up to those. And it's important that we as a community open ourselves up to those people interjecting themselves into conversations. You know, you've got Kaylin talking about, you know, the Pac-Man rule where you don't stand in a closed circle and little things like that. And oftentimes it's the little things that make it simple for people, right? You lower that barrier to entry, which increases the likelihood of someone engaging in a conversation, having a positive experience, and becoming a contributing member of this community. So it's definitely something to continue to strive towards and make sure that we're consciously thinking about it while we're standing in circles, while we're doing things, while we're having conversations, and not let it be just an afterthought. You know, let's make sure that we're actively trying to do the things that make that simpler for folks.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really easy with conferences like this, especially when you build up a friendship circle. You've been there a couple of times and stuff like that. To just, you know, to stay in the groups and stuff like that. But I think, like, one of the things that I saw at AE Live was that there are a lot of new people entering this space, and I think the sign of a great ecosystem is when it is constantly refreshing. But I think that there's a job that, you know, the people like, you know, myself play as somebody who's been around the block a few times, and other people that have been to Imagine a few times, just, you know, bring these people in and make them feel welcome. And I think if you can do that, then you basically, you're expanding out that community, which is good for all of us, right? And also, you know, if you go to Imagine, and imagine if you were there on your own, you know, you're a merchant or something like that, it's going to be pretty intimidating in the evening events and stuff like that. And I think, you know, especially, you get people that, you know, maybe, you know, they're not a developer or something like that, they're a retailer and things like that. They don't know the right people, so maybe you can connect them up, right? And that's one of the things that we try to do. And it's not about personal gain. I think it's about saying, well, what I'd like is for everybody that goes to Madden to have a fantastic time, you know, and then go back and be really infused about the product, the community, and everything around it, because, you know, that's good for all of us, right? But it's also about being just being a person, right? Being a person in society is just you know, like if you're an old hand, giving these people a hand. That's how I see it anyway. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, and it sounds like you've got a bird in the background there or something. Yeah, it's like, is that a railroad cart squeaking? Like, I'm not sure where. Is she in a mine shaft somewhere? I don't know what we're up against here, but
I'll tell you what it is when I'm looking at. I'm looking at a children's play center.
Oh, yeah.
McDonald's. I mean,
Screech in there.
no, but I definitely agree with you there. You know, I posted a video today on the channel where I talk about, you know, basically you're always going to have people coming in or at least leaving a community. You're always going to have people that get different jobs or, you know, pursue different avenues in life. And so you have to be able to refresh the energy and the livelihood and new people coming into the community. And a healthy ecosystem is good for all of that ecosystem's inhabitants. So we all benefit from having a healthy ecosystem. And if we're all contributing to make it welcoming and to help other people in that ecosystem, then we all end up benefiting in the long run. And the bigger Magento gets and the better this platform is for merchants to ultimately achieve whatever it is they want to achieve with their business, then the bigger we all can become and the better that we all can become in our own businesses. So, you know, we definitely want to be doing the things we need to do not just help ourselves, but to help other people and businesses. And as you grow in your career, as you get used to being at these conferences and become a known commodity in this space, it's important to help other people get to where you are and to mark that trail and to make it a little easier. And it doesn't have to be big things, right? It could be, I figured out this little bug and now I documented that somewhere on a blog post or in Magento Dev Docs so that someone else can find that solution easier so that they are, they can get to being a Magento developer that much easier. So it's a lots and lots of little things. And if as big as this community is, if everybody contributes just a little bit, then it becomes this just kind of self-feeding thing and it'll grow rapidly.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think the other thing is it's just about, like, one of the things that I do is, it's my job as CEO of Shipper HQ. I always say to the staff that my plan is just to play golf, and I'm always trying to make myself redundant, right? And then when I'm at Imagine, one of the things that I do there is just try and kind of connect people up, and then for me, I'll get out of the conversation, I'll move on to the next one. Because, like, if I can connect two people together and they're happy talking, then that's all great, right? And then, I'll kind of go around and do that. And then I hope you might see me doing this, where I try to keep myself kind of free. It's like me making myself redundant when I have no one to talk to. But I kind of like that because it means that I can just go up and approach people that maybe are on their own and stuff like that, but I kind of like that connecting thing. For me, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy meeting new people, right? And I'll leave some of the older groups to do their own thing because I just feel that if you can just go and, make people feel comfortable and stuff like that, that's a good thing to do, right? So, but that's what I'll do. But, everyone has their own style in it. But I think you just all need to have a bit of kind of, be humble about the position we're in and where we are and stuff. And just, I fully realise the position I'm in is a lot of timing and a lot of luck, right? But, I need to, you need to remain humble in that. I'm not going to start walking around going, I'm not going to talk to certain people and worrying about hierarchy and this, that, and the other. Like, I'll talk to anyone and everyone. So, I always say, come up and say hello to me, because let's have a conversation. Just, I'm always happy to, right?
Absolutely. So I know y'all only had 30 minutes, and I definitely appreciate you coming on. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I've got to get to packing. I haven't even started packing. Like I fly out at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't even thought about packing the first thing yet. So, again, like I said, I appreciate you being on. And it took a lot of effort to get you here. Sometime we'll have you on again some other time. I want to talk about shipping and logistics and all of those things, and we'll have y'all on again to, when you've got good Wi-Fi and you're sitting in the office sometime.
Yeah.
We're gonna go climb the mountain now. That's the plan.
Nice.
Yes,
Wow.
take it easy.
All right. Bye.
See you later. Bye.
All right. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you like this content, hit the thumbs up button on the video. That helps us out an awful lot. And I will be, Imagine's next week. So we're going to be there. I fly back here Thursday, and I'm going to be live streaming on Friday. I'm going to try to have on Guido over in the Netherlands, and we're going to be talking about his new Magento portal, I guess is the best way to put it. I don't really know how to generically explain it, but join us for that conversation, and I look forward to seeing you then.